So I just want to make a quick video walking through the functions of the Rolex SkyDweller and how to use the ring command bezel. I think this watch is just freaking awesome. It's so easy to use once you get a hang of what each position on the bezel does, and it makes it really easy if you need to adjust local time or whatever. You can just leave the bezel in one certain option, unscrew the crown, and you're already ready to go as far as adjusting your time. So let's get to it. Basically, the only thing that needs to change on the watch to access the ring command bezel: unscrew the crown. First position is just going to be winding, just like any other Rolex. As soon as you pop out the crown, you can wind it. And all we got to do is just pop it out one more time. And this is going to be when the bezel is active. So this is when the position on the bezel is kind of, in place, and you can use the crown to adjust things. So from here, the far right position on the bezel, so there's four different clicks, 4 different settings. The far right position is going to be like a neutral position. So right now, crown does nothing, doesn't wind, doesn't adjust anything. It's just kind of a neutral spot. So if we go one to the left, this is going to be where we're going to access the date function. So counterclockwise moves the date backwards. Clockwise moves the date backwards, and this also adjusts your annual calendar. So if you go counterclockwise, you're going to be moving forward. If you overshoot the date and you change the next month, it doesn't matter. You can go back and forth between the months using the date function, which is really nice because if you didn't, you'd have to go all the way back around through the year to set the date. That's the date function. One more click to the left. This is going to be your local time, so it's a quick set hour hand. Clockwise will go backwards, counterclockwise will go forwards. And this is really handy because if you just leave the bezel in this position, you travel, pop the crown out, a couple clicks there and back, and you can adjust your time. So this local time is going to be kind of dependent on your reference time, and I'll get into that in a sec. But this is just assuming, this is just wherever you are is what you're going to set this time, because it's easier to read the 12-hour format of that hour hand rather than referring to your GMT or your reference time. So let's get to that. One more click to the left, and now we're going to be spinning the GMT wheel in the middle. The second hand is stopped, so the movement isn't doing anything. And this is kind of going to be where I'd recommend you start. So set this reference time to, there's really 2 ways to do it. You can set it to your home time. I live in California, so I would set this to California time. And then when I travel, you just go over to your local time. If I'm going to New York, be 3 hours ahead, and I can still read California time on the GMT wheel. That's one way to do it. You use it as your home time. Another way to do it is if you don't travel a lot, but you are, you're doing international business and you have a client in, let's say, like Britain or Singapore or something like that, you can set it to their time. So if it's daytime or if it's nighttime, if it's appropriate to give them a call or whatever. You can use it however you want. Basically, this watch just reads 2 time zones, and you can kind of use it how you will, so it's best in your life. I like to use it for just my home time if I'm traveling, and then switch over to local time. And whoops, that was too far. Oh, there we go. And you can use it that way. But yeah, this watch is great. I'm going to make a video later on just kind of going through the bracelet and the finishing and more stuff about it other than the functions, more the look of it. But yeah, if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave it down below. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.